Banter fam, happy Thursday to you all. Okay, guys, we've been nice and patient. It feels good, right? It feels good to be patient and to know that, hey, some midterm RSIs were sitting at the top. So we mustn't be too, we mustn't think that everything is just going to bounce straight away and not get trapped, right? The big thing with Bitcoin here was not making a higher high. Therefore, the downplay was still in play. And now what we can get ready for is get ready to damn buy, right? It's time to get into the market. But again, what we are doing here is setting ourselves for incredible habits, right? We are learning, allow it to pump sometimes, let it come back down to supports. That's where we get it. So today I want to speak about altcoins that I'm buying. I'm actually going to buy 1 or 2 altcoins now in the zone, and then I'm going to set some more limit orders just a little bit lower, as we do still have that $99,000, $100,000 entry on Bitcoin still awaiting. And we could see here on a couple of things as well. We just want to see now if, let's say, for example, here, ETH, if ETH starts losing this trend over here, okay, it's showing you that a speed up is incoming. And we can get that ETH at that good 2223 level over here as well. So again, I want us to not rush too crazy when it comes to this week. You have this entire week to get ready for your entries. Next week, I think we're going to have an incredible rally. I think the market's going to rally up. And not only that, I think Bitcoin's going to then chase down the all-time highs. And also, what's incredible about that too, is Bitcoin dominance is getting very near another collapse, right? When we get and retest this zone over here, I think the next altcoin pump is going to be a lot bigger than the nice little altcoin recovery we've started to see now over the last few weeks. I think the next one is going to be huge. So for me, these are vital entries that I want to pay attention to. But again, we are just getting into damn rhythm. So guys, happy Thursday to you all. Hope you're all having a great day. Today is a good day. Isn't it nice on red days? We make them good days. No more, losing money. No, we got some money to buy, right? I'm wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
We're recovering from the dentist. Yes, you see how my whole lip here is still like, I look like Rocky Balboa, but it is what it is. How are you guys doing? Hope everyone is doing fantastic. I see around 51% are bullish, or 56%. Guys, this is where we start to become more bullish, right? More bullish is on the red days, more bullish on the retests. But again, the main thing for me this week is to get rhythm with the markets and again, get myself into good habits. So just to understand that the market's going to have these nice strong rallies and then it's going to have a little bit of a flush out. Again, what has the last 2 days been? It's been quite difficult to trade, right? And we want to kind of step away at that time. We want to make sure that we buy, get the pump, and give us room to just relax, right? Have stops in place. We don't want to have to fight in the choppy areas to get entries. You more want to allow it to chop, and have some limit orders. Let it chop, let it sink out, and let it now start to reset again, because that's what it does, right? The market chops, exhausts the audience, and then it shakes them out for the final move. So when you start to see, let's say, for example, now the market starts to accelerate to the downside, it means we are getting near the end of this pullback or the slowdown zone. When it is chopping, it means that it's still doing it, because again, you have a couple of things here, and I just want to show you here, right? Matt, my computer feels so weird on this side than in front of me. I feel like I'm like, but let me show you guys over here. So again, the important thing was to know that, okay, firstly, Bitcoin sitting right at the 105, 106 resistance, right? Again, after that, all-time highs. So after that, Bitcoin is basically preparing itself to go possibly to $120,000, $130,000. Now, that's a big move, right? Especially when we're altcoin lovers and we see that the altcoin dominance is losing traction too. So this excites us, right? It gives us a good understanding that this has been a great week within crypto, but it can be a phenomenal month. And May is usually run away, right? So it's crazy how this year, usually January is bull and, beginning of the year is bull. And then usually May is the bad area. This time switched around. So all that's happening within the market at the moment is the timing of things are happening different, but it's still the same thing. When we saw the market restart and repump again, we did see it start off with Bitcoin. We did see it going to ETH. And then now we must get ready for the blue chips, right? I still think it's vital right now with whatever I'm buying right now. I want the Solana entry. I want the Cardano entry. I want the blue chip, bigger token entries, because they're the next ones to really rip off. In that time, you're going to see memes rockets, and you're going to start to see a lot of the micro caps and smaller caps start pushing up over there too. Okay, but I want to work my way down a list. I want to work my way that 3-4 weeks ago, Bitcoin was available at the 70s, 80s, right? And then ETH was available at the 1.3s, 1.5s, right? Now they're sitting in a little bit higher territories, and you start to lose those entries a little bit. Now you're still sitting with the bigger caps that are sitting in beautiful zones, and soon they will be gone, and then we'll be kind of be moving on. So today's a very big opportunity to still really pay attention to getting some quality, okay? Especially when it comes to trades. I like trading things that I know very much as well. But it's understanding that this is where this is how the market is playing. Now, the next thing as well is, why is it chopping here? Because again, this is what flushes out people in the market, right? The pump gets everyone excited. This little period of here flushes people out. Then it goes again. And all that you see is this exchange of hands that happen quite often, right? But you see that the trap is not the downside or the upside. It's the sideways side that chops everyone out. So a way to help you guys in the future, because I still think it's so important that we take notes as we are playing out the markets, so that we can, install these good things within ourselves, was to understand that, yes, the market was chopping, but these two bigger RSIs would have kept you out of it. It would have basically told you to be patient, okay? And where you really want to buy, we know the weekly is looking healthy, right? If we go here to the high time frame here on the weekly and we go to Bitcoin, we know this is looking sexy as hell, right? Not only that, like, we can get excited for all-time highs of Bitcoin. This is an incredible recovery, an incredible higher low over here, okay? And in general, looks fantastic. But now we got to zoom in, okay, and understand that inside of that, you're going to have these little cool stages and not. So the big one over here was the 12-hour and the daily. This was telling us not to rush. This is why for the last 3 days, I've been saying pullback, wait. It's still in place, right? It's because these bad boys are coming down. Now, what will happen after today, after having a nice little red day, for example, you will start to see these RSIs start to accelerate pretty quickly. And it's basically telling us by this weekend stage over here, we'll have some really banger entries, right? Really good entries. And not only that, you could see that the last time let's say the weekly stocks or the daily stocks, sorry, were at the bottom, you can kind of see the rally that happened after that, right? That's what we're preparing for. We want to catch that big thing. Why do we want the small little moves that are happening in between? Okay, so again, when it comes down to these RSIs, it's again just telling you now, hey, we are now starting to pull back. And remember, the way pullbacks happen is it starts off slow and it speeds up. And it's just warning us that the speed up can still be coming. And that is the one we want to catch. That is what we want to get. And remember, the biggest speed ups happen when the RSIs get near the bottom. Do you see here how we chopped? And then RSIs at the bottom, look how speed up reversal. Okay, so the way dumps or anything work is when it starts to slowly bleed like this, it kills you and then it goes. Boom. Right? And that's what we want to make sure that we don't enter too early. We don't want to go into early drawdown. So when this is happening, your smaller RSIs are going down, okay? But your 12-hour and your daily are still coming down. And they're still telling you, hey, at any point, this can still happen. And that's what we want to pay attention to. And again, this is installing good things within us and making it understand that, hey, it's timing. That's the skill in crypto. Right? Timing, right? Just making sure that you are fighting at the right times and these type of things. So let's go through a couple of things. Here is the Bitcoin chart. Here is the drawing I gave you guys yesterday. I said that, hey, we were losing trend and a retest is going to happen. And it's very likely we're going to start accelerating. Now, what has now started to happen here is we have now started to accelerate. And now what we're doing is we are approaching the zone that we bounced previously. Okay. And the way that I paint this picture, okay, is I know that there's still a little bit more downside, right? I know that this 12-hour will be at the bottom in the next 12 hours. I know we've got PPI coming out today, right? Maybe that's a little accelerator to give us that little spring to the downside we've been looking for, right? Because we know when PPI and CPI comes out, they kind of give you a fake move first. They kind of move the market in one direction. So maybe that creates a little bit of the panic. And then all of a sudden, a few hours later, you see that it's reversed and it's going up again, right? That's all part of a game. Buyers are sitting over here, guys. This is where buyers are sitting. They're not sitting up over here FOMOing in. There's a big difference between big wallets and those who kill it in crypto versus those who kind of get flushed out, right? Is they buy at strong levels. They do not chase pumps. That's very clear. So when we start to hover here, you're not getting buying power, right? Look at the volume. Do you see massive buying power happening here? Do you see interest? No. Okay, you actually see volume tapering down. Okay, and that's giving a nice little sign. Now, the next thing where my brain is thinking here is there is some buying power sitting at this 100 where we bounced recently, This is where we bounced, right? So there's definitely buying power there. How do I know that? Because the last time we went there, we had a strong reaction within the markets. Now, I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, there's buying power here. However, all of those that bought over there, where they're going to protect themselves, right? Where would they maybe think of putting a stop loss or these type of things under the low, right? So it gives me a good idea that price could definitely go a little bit lower than this low here, trap those buyers, and then we get going again, right? And we start moving strong to the upside. So now not only that is where my brain is thinking, okay, because I'm always thinking that where is this market going to outsmart a lot of people in the market, right? And it comes down to either we bounce just above this low here, or we go slightly lower. Those are the two traps that can play, and that's the ones that I want to speak about today. That's why I said it may be worth even buying something small at these areas right now and leaving the rest in limit orders, right? The rest we can add later if it starts to break up, but if it plays out, we get them nice and strong. Yes, bull vibes, 100% bull vibes. Green blood, you know me, right? Full bull, but I'm learning. One thing you'll learn about Sheldon, I need to learn faster than ever and these type of things. So that's where my brain is thinking. Now let's take it down into actual TA, right? And look at the levels. The problem that I see here and why I thought that real bounce or the first bounce on Bitcoin was not true, was because we lost support here. We don't have much support. We lost this level. We went below this level over here. And it's very clear that support is sitting over here. This is where buyers are going to buy. Buyers will always buy supports, right? Supports are important. Look at the previous time before we started rallying. This was the buys, this was the buys. Where did the big buys happen, guys? On support, right? Look at the previous support levels over here. Look how price eventually came there. Not only did it come there, look at the big volume spikes that happened. Do you see any big green volume spikes over here right now? Do you see anything? No, because the buyers are not buying here just yet. We're not seeing any of that buying power here, which means it's sitting down at support, right? And that support is still showing for me that it's this $90,000 to $100,000 zone. That for me is the hot zone. That's where I think we're going to see some very strong buying support, okay? And not only that, that's what I see as the recovery. So today I'm sitting here and I'm saying, hey, we do have this support that we just bounced here previously, but I'm also aware that the speed up is going to happen. But it also excites me because what it excites me about is the last part of a dump is the speed up phase, right? That last part of the dump is the damn speed up phase. Speed it up and let's go. It's time to go up again, right? It's time to be moving. So that is still the play over there on Bitcoin is this over here. Now, a second way for us to be sure, because there is also this support zone over here, the one we bounced at. Maybe this is a strong one. The only way we're going to know that is when we get there again. Does it hold it? Does it lose it? Right? And then what we have over here, which is just telling you exactly what I've been saying, you literally have a day or so to really know, because that is the trend that we are going to track. We're going to put that damn trend line in, let it drop for now. We are waiting over here. That's where we want it. Right? But if it starts to bounce here, it starts to go there and crack this trend, that's the low. There we go. We're done. And we start moving very much to that side. But for now, we do have to think a little bit of the worst and we do have to prepare. And again, this is incredible habits. Now, again, when it comes to the total 3, it has not hit the full support zone just yet for me. There's a small support zone. This is where we bounced previously. Okay. But remember yesterday, I said, guys, I don't think this is real. I don't think this is real. There's a lot of resistance ahead here. There's still a trap to play. And you can see that the lower supports on altcoins are sitting down over here. You see these highs over here? That for me is support. And that's why it's still telling me that there's one more leg down within altcoins. Okay, one more down into the zone, but this is where I want to catch it. And again, Bitcoin dominance is telling us the same thing. So you see what I'm doing? I'm putting the pictures together, being in tune with the market as I can get. Right? But again, we have to celebrate the big structure changes that happened. Losing this support here on dominance was huge, right? We're getting some altcoin power back. And now what you are seeing is that the way that the market is working is very clear. When the market's going up now, dominance is coming down. Altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. When the markets are pulling down, dominance is going to go up. So every time dominance is coming down, it's also going to lose levels. But at some point, it's going to go retest those levels. And those are going to be the pullback zones because your altcoins are going to pull back more aggressively than what Bitcoin is, but they're going to outperform way more when they're going to the upside. Therefore, look at this. I don't see Bitcoin down 26% today. right? I don't see GRT or well, 10%, 11%. I don't see Bitcoin going through any of those pullbacks right now. So it's quite clear that you don't want to be on the wrong side of the altcoins when it comes to buying. You want to be on the right side, okay, and know that the money's moving. So again, this is telling us that a little bit more. It's also just telling us that it's not a mega pullback right now or a mega, this is going to be 3 weeks type of thing. It's telling us that a little bit more to go, few more hours, 24, 48 hours, and we're getting ready for another big push. And it kind of makes sense because why would we not pump the altcoins into weekly close, right? This is where your altcoins are sitting. They're sitting over here, right? So either by weekly close, we're going to go for it. By the end of the weekend, by Sunday, we go. Or we'll finish neutral like this by the end of the week, and next week's candle will be a nice green one. Remember, altcoins are sitting now where Bitcoin was fighting. This is where Bitcoin was fighting previously. And the moment that it got through it, you saw a mega short squeeze. And that's exactly what comes next within the alts, right? We got it. Guys, can I have some likes in the house? Can we get these likes up? We are tuned. You are learning. You're in rhythm with me. We're going, right? We're strong. We're looking good, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Quick shout out now before I go through into altcoins, guys. 2 things. First one is we have an incredible newsletter. Okay, it's a free newsletter that you can subscribe to, and we have a TA, the daily candle, every day. You get this in type format, and you get the actual charts. It is free for you guys. Click below in the description, go to the daily candle, okay, and click subscribe. And you get all of this information from many of the TA stars within Banter that are all here, and you get this information free every day. Okay, the next thing over here is join Sniper School. I'm telling you it's going to be the best one yet. I'm telling you I'm giving away a lot of Bitfundeds. It's going to be incredible, okay? And in order to do that, you just open up any of the exchange accounts. We've got Altbank, we've got BTCC, WeX, Bybit, all really good. All have sign-up bonuses, all have discounts on fees, all of this that you only get with my link, okay? You open up any of these here, you deposit $100, and you can get into school for free. That $100 is your money, yours to trade. Okay, let's jump straight back in over here and let's get going. Okay, so I'm keeping eyes on ETH at the moment. ETH, I'm a little bit worried about. Firstly, I'm so happy ETH is back, right? But secondly, it is making a bearish pattern. So what I'm keeping eyes on now is Bitcoin is sitting at some sort of support, right? But I'm actually looking at any point now ETH losing the support, okay? Which means that we mustn't pre-jump that this dump's not going to be as aggressive as what we maybe thought. Because I'm sure 2 days ago I was saying, hey, we're going to pull down to 2.122. Then yesterday we started making a little bit higher. It's like, is it going to pull back as much, right? We got to understand that if we lose this trend over here on ETH, its catch-up dump must still happen, right? Which means the catch-up dump, which is the last final dump, is the next one to still come in. So it still gives me a good idea to, hey, don't be afraid to still have some limit orders over here. And this is where my orders are sitting. So I want to show you guys this over here. So I'm going to ladder in a little bit more on ETH. I do have, if I look here on the WeX chart, I got a ETH limit order that's sitting at 2,320. And what I am going to do is I am going to just put one more limit order over here for a little bit lower. If this is this little liquidation wick, it can happen any point. I want to be a part of it, right? So I'm going to go at the 2,260, and I'm going to pop in a nice little limit order. Okay, and let's quickly speak about this. So here we go. You got a choice, right? You got $1,000 to enter trades now. The way I'm doing it is around 80% of them should be on limit orders right now. One can be at the top of the box of where you got an area of support. One will be at the top, which is around 30% of the entry. One for a cheap one, in case the market just wants to go that little bit more and creates a little bit of destruction. Okay, and then the other money you can manually enter. So you either want to wait for a trend break or you can start entering a little bit now, right? But that's around 10-20%. This is how you can kind of treat your buys. Laddering in buys is super important, and always just have that little bit of extra cash. Make sure you got a sexy, think about it. If you don't have a limit order that's sitting sexy low, then keep some manual cash with you, so that when the crash is happening, you can make a decision if you want to buy there or you want to wait for the trend to break and go. But make sure that you're preparing for the worst. Make sure you're getting something in at the top so that if it pops from there, you're in, okay? And just make sure that you are playing money wisely, right? So again, by jumping back in over here now, let's quickly go to the ETH pair here, okay? And I'm going to go put one at the 2,260. 2,260, right? So let's just put it here. Why is this not working? 2,2. Oh, there we go. 60. Okay, cool. And I'm going to just put a little bit of cash there to catch that nice little dip off if that happens. Boom. Okay. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm starting to ladder in the zone here. And then what I'm also going to do is put a small one a little bit higher. And I'm just showing you the techniques to use here. Okay. So I'm going to put another small one at 2,350. 2,350. I know overall this is a nice big support zone. Okay. Boom. There's my orders and I have cash. There we go. There's my cash for the trend break. We are in and we go. Okay. So you get a nice little idea. So that is still my idea when it comes to ETH. When it comes down to, again, my list of what I really want to buy, look at this on Sol. Sol is now sitting at support trend line. If it loses this, it's about to speed the hell up pretty quickly, right? And again, my hot zones here are sitting between this 158 and this 163. Okay, so same thing over here. If I go look now at my Solana entries over here, I got the 161. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put in a nice little 164. Okay, 164. Put a little bit of money in the game there. Great. And I'm going to go for the cheeky one, right? What's the cheeky one? Let's go 155. Let's put something in over there, right? Let's have something sexy over there if the market wants to. Because again, we've got to understand leverage is slowly going up. They might want to flush the market a little bit deeper. There we go. Boom. Still got cash, right? To add in and build a little bit more over there. Now let's fly through a couple of alts. You got Doge. That's starting to pull. I definitely want Doge. Okay, so my buy zone here is between the 20 and the 21.5 cent mark. So I'm going to go pop in here some Doge entries over here. Okay, and remember the important thing is I'm still keeping some cash so that at any point, we start, maybe news comes out good today, we start breaking trend, I can start deploying. And all we do for the next 2 days together is let's just get our entries. Then we are going to start building our leverage up, start making the positions bigger. Then the fun starts. But the first part is don't lose a lot of money. That's the important first part, right? Okay, so I'm going to go 207. I'm going to put something in the game, right? Boom. Let's put it in. Then I'm going to go 215. Put something in the game. Boom. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to keep some cash. There we go. Okay, so I have Doge in the house. Doge is one that I want. Remember, I spoke about this yesterday. I think the next pump on Doge is up to the mid 30 cents. So I think these are banger entries, right? Really good entries, really good amounts. Now, the next one that's pulling down that I'm going to buy a little bit of now, but I'm going to show you, okay, is ONDO. Because ONDO is just pulling back a little bit more than the rest of the market, which means two things. It means either the other alts are going to catch up to it, or it does mean that it's going to go down to crazy levels. Okay, but I got to know that either one of those can play out. ONDO is an incredible coin sitting at great levels. So I'm actually going to buy a tiny little bit. Always make sure your leverage is correct. See how they play games here with the resets. Okay, so let's make sure that's good over there. So I'm going to put something small in the game here. Why? Let's go back over here. This thing's already reaching my very big supports. Right? And then I'm going to set some limit orders. So ONDO's another one. So ONDO, I'm going to jump in over here now quickly, and I'm going to buy a small position here. Right? Small position over here, but now the limit orders are important. The limit orders is what I really want to catch and where I really want to make sure that I get some good entries. So my first limit order over here will be sitting at basically the 94 cent mark. So let's jump in here. Let's go 94.1. I always never make it exactly the number because even numbers sometimes never get hit, right? Then let's pop this in over here. Let's put something over there. And then I'm going to go cheeky. I'm going to go cheeky and I'm going to say, hey, we're going to actually go down here. Okay. And that's the 91 cent mark. Okay. And again, that's just because I know leverage exists, right? 91.1. There we go. Set it in over there. Boom. Okay, there is my orders, baby. I'm in on ONDO. This is a good one, right? So again, I'm showing you guys, look how, guys, this is great zones that are coming for Cardano, right? Absolutely great zones. This is what we spoke about. We spoke about, hey, we weren't there yet. There's some great support here sitting between the 73 cents and the 75, 76 cent mark as well. Okay, so again, same thing over here. I definitely want Cardano. Remember, I want blue chips right now. The rest of the stuff we can trade in the bull. We can have fun and we can do what we got to do, right? That's fine. But let's go put in this over here. Let's make sure my leverage is not super, super high. Okay. And let's go put in. Okay, so the first one I said over here 0.758. Fantastic. I want something there. Cool. Okay. Then I also said that the 7.3 is the sexy zone. Okay. Put something in the game. Fantastic. And remember, all of these things are making sexy trend lines here. That's why I'm keeping some cash manually, right? Then I can deploy and go pump it up. So again, Cardano excites me because Cardano, the next move looks pretty big. I think Cardano is going to make its way to $1, right? So that's a good one over there as well. So Sol, Cardano, Doge, Ondo, ETH, looking fantastic. A couple of other tokens that I said as well that I really want to get is AVAX. AVAX's zone is sitting between the 22 and the 23.3 type of area. So I'm going to go again over here and just pop some AVAX in. I really want AVAX. For me, it's one of the catch-up tokens that's going to possibly pump really hard next. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's go have a look. So first order that I want is 23.1. All right, that's my first order that I'm putting in over here. Let's go a little bit higher here. Okay, cool. And go back here 2 seconds. Let me just double check. Okay, 23.1, and the next one is 22.6. Okay, so 23.1. Put some money in. Fantastic. And 22.6. So you can see we're not far. We're getting there, baby. We're getting there. Okay, and let's pop a little bit more sitting in over there. Okay. Great. How are these limit orders looking? Damn, all over there. Now I am happy. Okay, you can choose the coins that you want. I'm going to go through a couple of coins for you now. I'm happy with these coins, and I have some cash. Now I'm done. Okay, now we move on to the next. Remember, guys, I'm going to trade the BTCC account as well. That's what I'm getting, but this one I'm trading higher leverage. So remember, I'm trading them differently. This one I'm trading a little bit more capital, $180,000, right? This one I set limit orders, a little bit higher time frame. Then I have the BTCC account, which I'm going to trade higher leverage, but that is important not to even attempt right now. What you do is you wait for the trends to break. Once the trends have broken, look at this trend that's forming on here. Once that trend brokens, then I start deploying the smaller accounts and I start rocketing up, right? So this one's going to continue sitting in cash for now until we are outside of this. Then I go crazy and stuff like that. Why? Because I want to use higher leverage, smarter entries, lower risk, all these type of things over there as well. Okay, guys, so let's go and fly through a couple of your coins. Couple ones that are pulling back aggressively that are looking really good, right, is Sonic. Sonic, straight into support zones here, and your Sonic buys again at this 50 cents to this 53-cent mark. Good buys, right? And you know where to put some stop losses if you want to put some stops in here. Again, you can buy a little bit here or wait a little bit low for the 53. You can put a limit order for 51, and then the rest of the money you deploy, boom, on the break of that trend line. Again, Sonic is a token that I think is going to pump to the next areas of 80 cents to the 90 cents for the next move to the upside. Okay, Algo is also pulling back nicely. Also telling me that there's still more dump here. It's telling me that it's not there just yet. But the good start buys here is 22 cents, right? Set one again for 21 cents. Put a trend line in, right? Just give your entries a little bit more respect and time, and they're going to start becoming incredible entries for you. Rushing and just doing these type of things is kind of what's going to get you trapped. Treat it with respect. Put a bit here, and you got the trend. The trend is the one to know, okay, whoa, pullbacks are done. I'm in, right? Until then, play the game. Very important. So again, let's go back over here. Yes, Algo. Algo is also another one that I think is going to get to the top of the range on the next pump, which is up to 30 cents, right? You've got Chainlink over here in the house. Chainlink not there yet. First buys are here at the 16, not too far. But then the next ones, remember this. So this is important as well, guys. Why did I set one limit order lower as well? It's because you have two supports here. You see how you have this support here? Okay, and that's if, hey, Bitcoin wants to bounce on the same low we made the other day. But if Bitcoin wants to go lower, it's going to go to this one. So put one limit order here, one limit order here, put a trend line in, and buy the break. Right? Great. Fantastic. Gives you a full, great understanding. Let's go through here to things like THORChain. So this is the problem with THORChain at the moment. Where is support? Right? Why should it bounce right now? Do you see any interest right now over here? No. Why? Because buyers are sitting at stronger levels. So the two big zones here, the one is here now, as an example on THORChain, and the other one is down here. perfect areas to put your limit orders. That is where there is power to give us volume, to give us the real bounce that we want and things to start flowing again, right? FARTCOin. FARTCOin, it's got some support here. It does, but then after that, it's got this over here. So you see when I'm charting here, you can just see, like, look at PopCat. There's no support here yet. A little bit, but this is where the support is. That's where you want to buy, right? It gives you a really good understanding. Look on Poly. That's where you want to buy, right? It gives you a nice understanding of the timing. Look at XRP. XRP has just lost this support. Why would I touch it right now? Where's the next support? Over here. That's XRP support area. That's where I want to catch it. That's where I want to go. Okay, guys, so we are getting it nice and strong. Let's see if there's anything that is really shining over here. Theta was one that I was very interested in. But again, where's the nearest support that I'm seeing right now? I don't see any support here. I see a support over there. That's where I see support. And I even see a support over there. There's my limit orders, and we go. We are now going to turn red days into incredible celebration days. Days that we buy, we load our positions. A lot of people today are sitting and, ooh, I'm scared to touch now. I'm scared to touch now. No, this is where we turn into absolute frothing. This is where you drink tequila. I'm telling you that in the next 2 days now, you can get lit, right? Lit means like just drink tequila, like, let's go. But we're doing it on the right side now. We're not doing it here anymore. We used to drink tequilas here. Now we're drinking tequilas here. Two different experiences. Both of them involve tequila, but this one's hangover shit, and this one you celebrate, and it's great as hell, right? It's incredible. Okay, guys, so I want to say absolute lots of love from me. Put some limit orders in. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm not live tomorrow, but I am dropping a show for you guys. Okay, so you can just see I am playing a snipers golf tournament. I've sponsored a whole golf course. I'm so excited, right? Incredible. But I'll make sure that I'm here, and let's get the damn buys together. Okay, love you guys lots. Have a great day. Bye-bye.